Good morning online. How's everybody doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, I got to see snow in my new neighborhood for the first time, and that was kind of fun. It's as long as the roads are clear. My next goal will be finding out why my driveway isn't plowed, but I'm sure there's a good reason for it. So glad that you chose to make it here today. We have some fun things planned for you. And if you're watching online today, I'm just going to give you advance notice. Maybe you could go run and get some paper and pen because you might need that during the service today. And I'll tell you more later.
Is it out on the table?
And for you here in the room, did you get your note card and a pen and a list of names? And if you didn't, the table's right there outside the door, so go grab that now because we'll be using those here, okay? And to start with, we are going to sing. What's our first song today? Yes, that's a great name right there. What if your name was Yes?
Oh, I like that.
Might want to think about that. See if that works for you. But for now, let's sing it. Let's try it on. If you'd like to stand as you're able, stay seated if it feels better. Let's sing.
Thank you, Kity. Good morning, everyone. No, good morning, everyone. Say yes to the day. Say yes to spirit. Say yes to love. Yes. Please say yes. Let's sing. This very day, this very hour, I claim my good. I say yes to the power within me. This very second, I pay attention to the inner voice that beckons, the inner voice that beckons me. Let's sing that verse again. This very day, this very hour, I claim my good. I say yes to the power within me. This very second, I pay attention to the inner voice that beckons, the inner voice that beckons me. Oh! And I say yes, spirit, yes, 1,000 times, yes. Yes, spirit, yes, 1,000,000 times, yes. And yes, spirit, yes, 1,000,000,000 times, yes. May I always say yes to the inner voice that beckons, the inner voice that beckons me. This very day, this very day, this very hour, I claim my good. I say yes to the power within me. This very second, I pay attention to the inner voice that beckons, the inner voice that beckons me. Oh, and I say yes, spirit, yes, 1,000 times, yes. And yes, spirit, yes, 1,000,000 times, yes. Yes, spirit, yes, 1,000,000,000 times, yes. May I always say yes to the inner voice that beckons, the inner voice that beckons me. Sing that chorus
in the room. There we go. All right, let's turn our thoughts inward. Yes, Spirit, we're listening. Yes, Spirit, we are seeking first the kingdom, knowing that we are in and of and as the presence of God. Grateful to be in this place, always, everywhere, one with Spirit. And we thank you, God, that as we join our hearts together today, we come to a true knowing of that presence, of that love and wisdom. Yes, Spirit, yes. 1,000,000 times yes. And so it is. And let's speak our invocation. The words are up here on the screen. Together? There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Thank you. You may be seated.
I chose this song because I thought it was a great example of finding and choosing a name. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am bountiful. Perhaps those are your words. There's so much to choose from. Spirit, we are beautiful. Spirit, we are beautiful. Here in the light that surrounds us, we are beautiful. Spirit, we are powerful. Spirit, we are powerful, trusting in the mind that guides us. We are powerful. Spirit, we are bountiful. The Spirit, we are bountiful. Thank you for the life that sustains us. We are bountiful. In spirit, we are beautiful. Spirit, we are beautiful. Here in the light that surrounds us, we are beautiful. Spirit, we are powerful. And Spirit, we are powerful, trusting in the mind that guides us. We are powerful, yes. In Spirit, we are bountiful. Spirit, we are bountiful, yes. And thank you for the life that sustains us. We are bountiful.
I was on Facebook this week, and one of my great nieces, who's 7, had a posting. She doesn't have an account, but someone in her family posted this up here on the screen. She is 7, and she has a 4-year-old sister whose name is Lucia. And she decided that she was going to tell us what Lucia meant. And so she took the letters of Lucia, L-U-C-I-A, and she broke them out. And L is for love, and she chose a doing statement, I love you. U is for unstoppable. You are unstoppable. C is for creative, so creative. I is for incredible. A is for athletic. You are athletic. That's pretty awesome, right? Yeah, that's the kind of thing you don't see too much, where children are affirming children. And it got me thinking about what happens to children at some point in their lives when they get into school and they start hanging out with a bunch of other children their age. They tend to find words to use against you. Anybody had that happen? Where a word was used against you, you got a new name. And sometimes that name stuck for a long time. We had a defense that was traditional in my day, and that defense was, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Was that true? I'm saying, come on. Those things hurt. Those names hurt. Okay, granted, they didn't break your leg, but they hurt internally. And sometimes, even today, they still hurt. Why? I'm going to ask Liz to come around with a microphone right now. I want you to think for a minute. Why do names or labels hurt us? Sorry about this, Parker, but you might want to be ready to zoom around the room. Who has an idea of why labels or names hurt us? Jeff. Is it on?
I think if you hear it and they say it, you believe it.
If you hear it and believe it. Why do names or labels hurt us? Because they're not true.
I think as a kid, you might not agree with what they're saying, but you don't know who you really are to come back with something.
Yeah, thank you. Kim Char's got one up here.
Sometimes when that happens, you feel unaccepted, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times it's a group of people and they're teasing you and you're not part of that group. And
Yes.
you're shown as different, and that doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. In the back row, did you have one? Is that Kim back there? Can't see? Okay. Bright lights.
Labels are false projections from other people.
Labels are false projections from other people. Anyone else? Over here, Rick's got one.
My name's really important to me. Like, it matters to me what people call me.
Yes. Yes. Anyone else? Over here on this side, Liz is getting her exercise in today.
Labels are judgment in one word.
They're judgments in one word. And Christina?
I was going to say something similar, that the words that they attach to you are their judgment, and when you accept that judgment, that's when you hurt.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, everybody. So that just reminds us that words have meanings, especially when we agree with the meaning. When we take it in and we let it settle into our subconscious, which means it starts to become habitual. It starts to repeat itself in our mind, and we feel the feelings of it. And then we start to project it out in our imagination about what will my life be like if everybody treats me or thinks of me that way? What will I not get that I need, or what will I get that totally destroys me? It's very simple things like, they point out a physical feature of yours that they don't like, big nose, and supposedly that's bad. Who says that's bad? I don't know. Kids say that's bad. So you have a big nose, and they seem to think that means I'm ugly, and that means I'm going to be ugly for the rest of my life, and that means I'm never going to be loved, and I'm going to be all alone. You see how we can continue to tell that story and unfold it in our consciousness that way? And then at some point, we just start to become that, unlovable, unworthy. We stop trying to change. We stop trying to get them to change their minds. And we kind of take on the personality of unlovable. Have you ever seen that happen? It becomes your character because you just don't know what else to do. You don't know how to get out from underneath it. And therefore, it starts informing our behaviors. So as we become adults, we sometimes get a little smarter. When we do, we think, okay, well, I'm just, I can see that at this point in my life, and maybe we don't even associate it with that name calling as a child, but we notice that we struggle hanging out with strangers, having conversations with strangers. So, hey, it's the new year. I'm going to make a resolution. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to change my behavior. I'm going to get out there and say hey to a stranger. Put myself in a position where I'm going to meet more new people. And it becomes really hard to do. And it creates fear. And we start to get sick to our stomach. Have you noticed that? Some get major anxieties, phobias about talking to other people. Because what'll they think of me? And at that point, changing the behavior becomes difficult. And I'm here to offer you today that it's difficult to change our behavior until we change the person that created it. I'm not talking about the one that insulted us. The person that created the habit of thinking has to be changed. The identity has to be changed. We have to begin to see ourselves in a new way. We have to work more on being rather than doing. And last week, how many of you were here and walked the labyrinth? So do you remember how the first part of the labyrinth was about choosing something that you were going to release or let go of, and you wrote it down on a piece of paper and dropped it into a bowl of sacred water to dissolve, which is a great idea. And can we escape from that thing, if it is a thing, if it is a person? Can we escape from them without first changing our own identity about who we are? So rather than resolve, like we make resolutions at the beginning of the year to change what we're doing in life, I'm going to invite you today to resolve change who you're being. And I know that that's a much bigger, broader idea, to change who you are. So we're going to walk through some processes today to help us do that. Because until we are able to settle into I am worthy, I am enough, I am a spiritual being, one with the presence and power of God, until we're able to own that, the ego will continue to hold us in that old identity and therefore continue to drive our behaviors. So you may not know who the being has to be, or the identity is that you have to become. So a few things that you might want to do is look for things that are limiting in our life, that we are experiencing or doing to ourselves that is limiting on a regular basis. So for instance, maybe it's about I can't get a handle on money. I can't seem to stop overspending, or I can't seem to find a way to earn it. Money and I just don't get along. So what if instead of going out and trying to find a new job, that's a doing thing, that we look within ourselves and find out, why is it that I have such a bad relationship with money? Is it possible that I feel like I don't deserve it in the first place? I'm not educated or smart enough to be able to earn money. Or I came from a family that didn't handle money well. It's all that I know. and recognize how much of that has become your state of identity, one without money. Not because I'm without money, but because I feel unworthy, unable. That's a state of being. Unworthy, unable, that's a state of being. Think about your body. Is that a dominant limitation for you? Does it have to do with the way that you look, or does it have to do with the state of health that you're in? And we think, okay, I'm going to get out and get on a new diet, or I'm going to go start working out at the gym, or I'm going to start eating better. I'm going to start seeing a doctor, taking treatments, getting on supplements. Those are all doing things, right? But let's go back to where that originated from. And sometimes this is deep enough that you might just want to get a counseling partner to help you through this. But to start with, let's just see, where did all this begin in me? And what does it come back to? I'm unworthy. I'm unlovable. I don't deserve to have a good body, or I don't deserve to be healthy, or I've never been healthy, so I was born a weakling. What's going on in that chronic ego's version of life in you that could be getting in the way of your health? It might be that there's a certain area in your life where your ego demands control over and over and over again. Maybe for you, it's, okay, I'll talk about me. So when I got into seminary, there was a lot of opportunities to work together with some of my classmates on projects. And I found out that whenever I got into a project-based situation where we were all coming up with ideas, I got very anxious for fear that this project would go in a direction that I didn't want it to. Can you relate to that? Anybody? Can you relate to that? Anyone? Okay. So I had to acknowledge that because it wasn't pretty. You know, and it turns out I wasn't really the only one who had that kind of issue, because it turns out many of us wanted to say, I think we should do it this way. So I had to learn to become aware that I was going into one of those situations where my ego was going to demand control, and I wanted to be awake for it and make sure. More importantly, though, instead of just controlling my behavior and keeping my mouth shut or being a better listener, I wanted to go inside and ask myself, who is this person that needs to be in control in this type of situation? And I think what was coming up for me was, if it went another way that I didn't like, I might not know how to do it, and I might look like a failure. Yeah, so where is that coming from, that where I have to do everything perfectly? And I was able to track that way back and where that came from. So I'm just encouraging you to just look in all these different directions to see what continually shows up for you that feels like you're being held down in some way. What repetitive behavior or experience, situation do you get yourself into where you're, there it is again, and here comes that need that says, you'll never change, you'll always be this way. Find out what it is, and then what we're going to do is we're going to think of who we would rather be. Now that we know who we don't want to be, who would we rather be? It's not that hard of a question, really. Imagine the qualities of the person that you want to be and begin giving your attention to that. The cool thing about this is there's not a lot of figuring this out. It's more about just centering in on the thing that feels right to you, and then keep centering. So we're gonna look at how we can do that. So here we are, moving towards who it is that we want to be. And one of the ways that we're going to do that today is we're going to use the white stone ceremony to help us. How many of you have never done a white stone ceremony before? Okay, good. All right, so don't be afraid. It's actually kind of fun and empowering. And if you don't want to physically participate in the process, just sit and enjoy the process. But what I want us to start with today is the scripture that this comes out of up here on the screen. This comes from the book of Revelation chapter 2. Let anyone who has an ear listen. To everyone who conquers, I will give some of the hidden manna, and I will give a white stone, and on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. Very mysterious, right? So think of this as a framework to help us find our new name, our new sense of being. And it comes with a couple things. It comes with some requirements or conditions that we are called to meet. And then it's going to offer us some gifts in the process. So if we look at the scripture up at the top, we start with, let anyone who has an ear listen. And we're not talking about the physical ears on the side of our head. We're talking about the inner ear, the ability to tune in and become aware and attentive to what's going on within us. To anyone who has an ear, Jesus was saying that regularly, right? For those who have ears to hear, let them hear. He knew that most of the people that he was hanging out with weren't able to follow him, weren't able to really track what it was he was saying. They were at a different level of consciousness. So he was speaking to those who were speaking his language. He was reminding them, pay attention, listen. This is for those of you who get it. You know, we might run into people who think very differently about their faith than we do. And I've learned over time that there's not a whole lot of point to try and explain my belief system to them when they don't have an ear to hear. You know what I'm saying? And many of us do that when we're talking about our faith. We rarely want to listen to what other people think unless we're also on the path to changing their mind. So this isn't about doing that. This is about listening to your inner wisdom and letting it guide you. This isn't for you to learn something and say, hey, my inner wisdom said you need to change. That's not where we're headed. So we're talking about the ear of the soul and getting more out of the head, the intellect, the analyst that wants to figure things out, and more into the heart where spirit will guide us. We will feel our way to that right place. If we're not literally hearing a sentence in our head, you will feel which direction is meant for you to go. And we learn how to do that best by regularly spending time in meditation. Even if it's 5 or 10 minutes a day to begin with, just give some time to be still and know. I heard someone mention the other day, just turn on brown noise. Who knows what brown noise is? I've heard white noise, but Kim, what's brown noise? It's a frequency, a different frequency? Yeah. Okay. So maybe for me, I tend to just turn on YouTube and look up meditation music and find one that's not like forcing my mind to follow it, but it just starts to become background for me, and you stop thinking so much. That's our goal, not to really think so much in meditation, but to stop thinking. So we get quiet and we listen for that inner voice. And it may not come through as a word, as I said. It may come through as a feeling, or it may not come through in the meditation, but it might come through later. And the more that we practice to be still and know, the easier it will be to hear, because our mind does learn how to quiet and slow down. So ears to listen. Secondly, to everyone who conquers. And again, this is not an outer conquering. This isn't about making someone else do things the way that you want them to. It's not about controlling circumstances to be the way that you want them to. It's not even physically controlling some of your behavior. It's an inner conquering of the ego. It's noticing the difference between when you are making choices out of ego, which is usually based from fear of some kind, or you are being open and willing to choose the higher road that spirit is directing us towards. So we're talking about everyone who conquers the ego, surrenders the personal will, and becomes willing. So those are a couple requirements in order to make way for our essential self to be heard, our divine nature to come through. And then one of the promises that are offered as we learn how to do this is we will be given some hidden manna. Now, how many of you heard the story in the Old Testament about Moses and the Israelites walking in the wilderness for 40 years? Anybody? And how were they fed every morning? Manna from heaven. They'd wake up in the morning and the ground would be covered in this substance that was edible and that would nourish them. And that nourishment is something we're talking about here metaphysically. A hidden manna is a nourishment from within. Here we go again, turning our attention into toward our heart and listening for spirit. The manna that is coming our way is a nourishment that feels like spiritual understanding. We are nourished through spiritual understanding. When we really start to get the big picture, when we really start to know which direction Spirit is guiding us, you will be given that direction, that nourishment, that reminder of the truth of who you are. If you learn how to listen, if you learn how to conquer the ego and put it in the back seat, this is all about seeking first the kingdom, and then the things will be added to you. Turning within to your spirit first, and then the details will follow. We're given that spiritual nourishment, and it mentions a white stone that we'll receive. So think way back, even before Jesus' time in the ancient Greece, where when someone was on trial, the jury would cast a white stone if they felt that this person should go free, that they were not guilty. So now they're being released. Or in Jesus' time, where they gave a prisoner who had completed their sentence, they were handed a white stone to use as proof that I've fulfilled my term, I'm free to go. So we hear freedom in those two examples. Let's look at that metaphysically and just see that you are a free being. You have the power to choose. You have the power to be whoever and whatever you seek to do. This is you making the decision. You can be free of the tyranny of sense consciousness. You have the ability to be free from that ego voice that's continually trying to dominate you. You've got the white stone that says you are beyond the material world. You no longer need to be held down by it. And here's what happens with the white stone. On the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. Think of that name as a name that not only you decide, but a name that comes with its own power. Every name, every word comes with meaning, therefore power, to represent whatever that word is. And I like the way that Ernest Holmes puts it up here on the screen. He said, words are molds into which the creative substance of your consciousness flows. So consciousness flows into a word. Words without meaning, while they may have some effect through constant repetition, cannot have the same effect that words with meaning have. Your words will have meaning in such degree as you actually feel that they are the activity of the Spirit within you. So when we are choosing a name, we want it to be something that feels like our name, that feels like it's coming from the directive of Spirit, that it's trying to give us that deeper spiritual understanding of who we are and where we can go in life. So we want to choose a name that resonates with our being, that responds to a desire that you've been carrying around in your life. Whatever it is, that negative thing that you wanted to get over, this is your chance to feel into a new name. And remember that that desire, any desire that comes upon our heart, is the beginning of all of our creative moments. You have a desire, it's ready to open the door to creativity, and that means Spirit is behind it. So we're looking for a name that responds to our desire and that feels like ours. So if we are ready to find that name, how do we know what we should be looking for? I'm going to ask Liz to run around again with the microphone. I want you to give me some examples of things that people come to this place where they do want to change something in their life. They want to fix something. They want to heal something. They want to create something. Give me some examples of typical things people want to fix, change, heal, create. common things. Relationships. And this may be things that we don't need the microphone for. This one word answers, that's kind of where we're going here. Relationships. Okay, so a couple things in relationships that we might want to change. One might be we want a relationship. We want to be in a relationship where we feel loved and able to be ourselves with this person, connected, supported. So what is a divine quality that we want to be that aligns us with that state of being? What is a quality of that? Love itself. So maybe our new name for the year is love. I am love. Maybe it's commitment. Maybe it's support. I am support or supportive. Maybe it's I am giving. I am open. I am accepting. I am welcoming. I am allowing. You see where we're headed? Finding our name to match our desire or our issue in life. The other thing that we often deal with in relationships is conflict. So let's perhaps look at words that help us heal. Might be I am healed. Might be I am forgiving, giving, generous, kind. All the words that would allow you to be that quality in the presence of the other person so that suddenly that conflict is dissolving. That could be one of your names this year. What's another common challenge? Or Bill's got one. And then Don.
Location. Change your location.
Change of location. Is it like, Bill, is it like you don't know where you want to go, or is it that you are concerned that you're moving?
It is more like it's a place that you visited, but now you choose to be there. So it's a conscious choice.
Okay, so you're trying to make that conscious choice?
Me personally?
No. The example you're giving me.
That instead of just visiting something,
You wanna live there?
You kind of stay on the outskirts of it, become that thing.
Okay. So if we are wanting to go whether it's like a physical location or it's a experience that we've had in a physical location, what is the quality of that experience? Is it something that you feel open, you feel free, you feel nourished, you feel enthused for life, you feel safe? I am any one of those words that might attract you to that experience that you're wanting to have in location. And I'm not 100% sure I got it right. What else, Bill?
It's also a feeling that you're contributing to that location that you
good.
moved to.
Yeah. So
You have something to offer.
Yeah, I am contributor. I am providing. I am supporting. And I am part of. Thank you. Don had one.
Persevere or perseverance?
In what case?
Meditation, daily meditation.
Okay. So one of the habits that we might want to turn to is I'm going to meditate more. And then we try it for a week or two and then we give up because we just can't get there, right? So you did it right there. You started right at the beginning with the word, with the ideal quality is perseverance. I am perseverance. I am committed. I am a lover of this idea of oneness. If the goal of meditation is to experience oneness, maybe that's your word, oneness. I am intuitive, which is also a result of meditation, is becoming more intuitive. That's a good one. One more. Anybody else have a common challenge or a fix or a healing that needs to happen or a thing you want to create in your life? We're looking for Christina.
New path.
Yeah, a new path. And this is one where a lot of fear can get in the way. So think of qualities that will get you on the new path. And one of the ones that I would recommend is faith. I am faith. I am imagination. I am enthusiastic. I'm willing. I'm open. I am knowing. I am curious. Yeah. So words that would be expressing your quality as you're living this process of taking a step on your new path. I am willing. I am, one of our divine qualities is strength. I am strong. Even when you want to give up, I am strong. Thank you. Okay, so to get the idea, look for divine qualities that support you in that new beingness for that particular situation that you're wanting to change in your life. And I'm going to ask Highest Good to come up to sing us a song. And as they're doing that, you should have a list of names that you picked up out at the table. It's green. And this is going to be your chance to look over that list of names. And if you're watching online, we're going to put a couple pages of these names up on the screen and rotate them so you have a chance to look at them as well. And see if one of them jumps out at you. Keep playing for us as the rest of the band steps off for a minute. And this is going to be an opportunity for us to take out our little card that you got on the table and your pen. You got pen and paper at home. Let's grab that now. And what I'd like to do is just kind of walk you through this process where I'll ask you some questions. And hopefully one of those questions is going to spark something in you. So jot down the question that I've said. Hopefully it'll start to lead you towards a name that feels right to you. And then I'll guide you when you're ready for a name. When you've got your name, I'll guide you to come forward. But let's just do this first part together. Let's take a moment to close our eyes and recognize that, as Jesus said, when we ask, it is given. And so we now open our hearts and our minds to that highest voice, that highest wisdom within us. We feel the presence of love waiting for us here. And to help us feel that love, we take a moment to just feel love for someone in our life that warms our heart. Feel appreciation for someone you care about, or a beautiful place in nature that makes your heart sing. Let's just take a minute to go there, to feel that caring again. And from this higher place of spirit, of love, let's just take a moment to ask ourselves, who am I meant to be this year? What word would guide me on my journey? How am I meant to live? Who have I aspired to be? If I started over again, what new way of being could I choose? Who do I want to be known as? What new identity do I want to be in the world? What quality would set me free from a negative habit? What am I here to learn? What quality would help me make a change in my life, in my career, my health, in my relationship? Where do I need to grow? What would help me to connect more deeply with Spirit? What quality would open me to that presence of God within me? I am ready to know. I give myself permission to choose my name at a later time. But if a name comes this morning, take a moment to sit with it in the silence and ask it for a deeper understanding of itself. How would my life change if I were living this new name? Notice any feelings that come up for you. Are they uplifting or concerning? I'm going to invite you to come forward whenever you feel like you have a name. And there's stones on all 3 tables here. If you'd like to avoid the stairs, then you might want to choose a stone from the table here on the floor. But as you come up and choose a stone, there's markers here of all different colors. Choose one that speaks to you and fill out your new name on your stone, and then bring it back with you to your chair. And we'll give you some more instructions at that point. Just take your time. Anyone else? As you're coming back to your seat with your stone and your new name, just take some time to hold it to your heart and feel grateful for that revelation, for that calling, for that invitation to be more of yourself, to reveal more of your divine potential this year. Trust that this is a sacred moment just between you and Spirit. Feel the power of that new name. Allow your imagination to unfold and see yourself living your new name. If you'll open your mind, your eyes, and your heart, and let's look at this affirmation. It's a lengthy one today. It's something that I'm going to invite you to speak with me as we settle into this identity. Let's say it together. My new name points me to new life in 2024. I'm willing to fulfill its meaning. Let's say that again. I'm willing to fulfill its meaning. My new name opens my awareness to its true essence, guides my ego to a higher way of being. As I live this name, I welcome a new beginning, filled with infinite potential. The great I am is the power in my name and in my life, and all things are possible. So it is, and so I allow it to be. Look at your stone one more time. And again, if today wasn't the day for you, feel free to come up after the service and take a stone with you. Take your list of names, and you can work on that when the Spirit guides you. And also out in the front room, as you're going out the front door, there's a banner beside the door on a window there that I'll invite you, if you'd like, to write your new name on the banner. It says, my new name for 2024 is, and just write your word. You don't have to write anything else. And we will hold that for a month. We'll just leave that banner up there for a month to let it just remind us of the truth. Thank you for doing that, for opening to this idea. So this time in our service now where we share our tithes and our love offerings is an opportunity for us to say, I am giving toward that which has meaning to me. Your spiritual community is here to support you. And if you feel like its name, if unity is a name that is supporting you, then we encourage you to give toward it and sustain it as a family, as a community. And that includes all of you watching online. We welcome your gifts as well. If you'd like to give, you can do it online at our website, unityinnaperville.org. Or if you'd like to mail a check to our P.O. Box, it's 9733 in Naperville, and the zip is 60567. And let's say our offering blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. Thank you. Ushers, will you come, please? And then we're just going to invite you to sing along with Highest Good.
You shall no longer be called
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I am Christina Cannon. Share with you the happenings that are going to happen here. If you're joining us for the first time, we welcome you. We are so glad you're with us. We appreciate new energy. Yay. There is an orange card that you can complete out in the lobby. It's next to the welcome packets. By completing that, we can keep you informed of new events that are happening at Unity in Naperville. So, virtual newcomers can sign up for the weekly e-news at unityinnaperville.org. Energy of Spirit meets today at 12:15. Practice easy, non-strenuous techniques to improve your overall energy. Love offering of $10 at the info table. Monday morning metaphysics meets Monday morning at 10:30 on Zoom. Grief support meets tomorrow online at 7 p.m. See the event calendar for the Zoom link. Crafters Circle, with all of the crafters, meets on Friday at 6:30 here at Unity. Our backroom discussion with online viewers meets with Reverend Kity next Sunday after the service. Yay! Aging with Spirit meets at Unity and online Saturday, January 20th. Discover how to access inner gifts that have been scientifically proven to benefit your mental fitness and general well-being. Sign up in the front room or email admin at unityinnaperville.org, and suggested offering is $10 to $20. This is not a session that is only for aging people. But when you think about it, we're all aging. So you could get a leg up if you're younger right now. T-shirts are here and available for pickup at the info table. We're collecting styrofoam. Thank God I thought no one was going to collect it again. I have quite the stash. For the next 3 Sundays, if it's been in contact with food, wash it thoroughly. I find that soaking it with Dawn helps. And no foam insulation or packing peanuts, sorry. If you can help deliver the styrofoam to Dark Container in North Aurora on January 28th, go to email admin at unityinnaperville.org. Save the date to create your vision board with Deb DeSandro on Saturday, January 27th. More info is coming soon. Prayer chaplains. Who is our prayer chaplain today? Yay! Are available to pray with you in the prayer room after the service. Or you can email your name and phone number to prayer@unityinnaperville.org, and a prayer chaplain will call you today by 1 p.m. I'm assuming that's Central Time. For details on all our events, see the event calendar at unityinnaperville.org or email admin@unityinnaperville.org. And now Steve has a pressing message.
Thank you, Christina. Good morning. So I have an announcement from the events team about an event, but I just want to say really quickly that when Kity was taking us to that happy place where we could think of our name, I felt my ego pulling. And I said, you know what, we have to be in this together. You're a gift and we're going together. My ego said, I'm in. If we just subscribe to Hulu. So that was so I made a deal with my ego. So anyway, the events team has announced an event. Our events team, which anyone can be on, if you have any questions or you want to be on any team here, you just email admin@unityinnaperville.org. Our events team is anchored by Beth Schwartz, Melody Moy, and Melinda Beering. Yeah, thank you all. And I've sat in on a few, and we've always talked about going to the Paramount Theater. And they've tried a couple times and haven't gotten enough interest. So it seems like the right play came up, the right musical. It's called Billy Elliot. It's at the end of March. And so we want to, this is time sensitive. We can get a group discount. So what we're talking here is, we have a sign-up sheet out in the lobby now, and it's just if you're interested. So if you put your name down, how many people you might be attending with, and your phone number, just if you're interested, we'll call you and give you more details and ask you if you're really going to go. But the play is Billy Elliot. It's a feel-good play. It's about a young boy in the 1980s who during a coal miner strike in northern England, he didn't want to be a coal miner like his dad. He wanted to be a ballet dancer. So it's a story about that. Really cool story. So we're thinking Saturday or Sunday, March 24th or 25th. It's a Saturday or Sunday, a matinee. The matinee on Sunday is at 1 o'clock. We could leave right from here after the message, after service. We could even get a bus if we have enough interest. I thought it'd be really cool to socialize in that way, see a great play, and we get a group discount. So right now tickets retail are $55 a piece, or $65 if we move a little closer. These are all on the main floor. And so a discount for 10 to 19 people is 10%, 20 to 49 people is 15%, and every 21st ticket is free. So if you're interested, if it sounds cool, if you'd like to get together, put your name and phone number down on the sign-up sheet in the lobby, and we'll give you a call, and we'll try to get this together. Coordinating these things can be time-consuming and difficult, but the quicker we all do this, the more we can get this settled in. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And just a couple, oh no, we already did the banner thing. Don't forget the banner and putting your name out there. But let me just invite you. We had an undecorate day yesterday. For a few reasons, but mostly hands on deck were not here. So we're going to invite you, if you have hands on and want to be on deck today after the service, we invite you to help us do this. To remove the ornaments and the lights and to take the tree apart and put it away. Was that all that was involved in that? And the tables down and what? Okay, you don't even have to take the lights off the tree. How good is that? If you can help with that, we'd appreciate it. And then, was there anything else we were going to do with the carpet or anything? We're all good? Okay. So first of all, give a big hand to Kelly and Beth, who were here yesterday and took everything else down.
Thank you.
And let's have a birthday song, right? Who's born in January? You want to stand up and we'll sing to you? January babies, come on. That's Steve.
Right.
Happy birthday to you. Val.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Or
right.
you
January 11th. I forgot to do my thing up there.
Happy birthday,
January
everyone. And as we stand for our last song, I'm just going to comment, Steve, I had that same thing. The ego's like, But that's the power of choice and setting intention came into play, right? And saying, no, this is my name. This is who I am. And trying to get it along. And when we bring these things together within ourselves, that's where peace begins. It begins with me. That's what this next song is about. As we go forth, know that as you come into the truth of who you are, and you come into your peace of knowing, we're bringing it to the rest of the world. Yeah. Please stand as you're able. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Oh, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
You got a white stone? It has a name on it. Let's use it. Put it somewhere where you'll see it regularly. Hold it to your heart. Remind yourself of its power, what it means to you. Remember to give it deep meaning until you can feel it from spirit. And let's begin living our new identity this year. Here's our closing affirmation. Together, I receive my new name gratefully and live its meaning willingly. So much love to you in this new year. So grateful to spend this day with you. Have a great week. Help if you can. Energy with spirit. Sign up for things and eat, eat, eat. But first, say hello to someone. Invite well, if you want to give them your new name, you're welcome to do that. But at least give them your driver's license name.
Online, thank you for being with us. We always appreciate you. As we say this last song, we say yes to the new name. We say yes to the truth of our being. This very day, this very hour, I claim my good. I say yes to the power within me. This very second, I pay attention to the inner voice that beckons, the inner voice that beckons me. Sing that verse again. This very day, this very hour, I claim my good. I say yes to the power within me. This very second, I pay attention to the inner voice that beckons, the inner voice that beckons me. Yes, and I say yes, Spirit, yes, 1,000 times, yes. Yes, Spirit, yes, 1,000,000 times, yes. And yes, Spirit, yes, 1,000,000,000 times, yes. May I always say yes to the inner voice that beckons, the inner voice that beckons me. I'll bring it down a little, here we go. This very day, this very hour, I claim my good. I say yes to the power within me. This very second, I pay attention to the inner voice that beckons, the inner voice that beckons me. Oh, let's say yes, and I say yes, Spirit, yes, 1,000 times, yes. And I say yes, Spirit, yes, 1,000,000 times, yes. Yes, Spirit, yes, 1,000,000,000 times, yes. May I always say yes to the inner voice that beckons, the inner voice that beckons me. Oh, keep on saying yes now. And I say yes, Spirit, yes, 1,000 times, yes. Yes, Spirit, yes, 1,000,000 times, yes. Here we go. And I say yes, Spirit, yes, 1,000,000,000 times, yes. May I always say yes to the inner voice that beckons, the inner voice that beckons to me. I say yes. And we say yes. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
When your hotel room is...
Hey!